All right.
Pleasantries can come.
Yeah. All right, our viewers all over the world. I'm Kwaku Delali, your regular host of your most inspiring and favorite show, Decipher, on Stage 1 TV. And then look at my time says it's 10 o'clock GMT, and I bring you salutations of peace from Ghana, the center of the earth. And on this edition, I'm going to be in a confabulation with an amazing but a physically challenged farmer who's been in the field for so many years. We are here to have a confabulation so that he can put out his story. And then this farmer doubles also as an evangelist. And then he was awarded the best physically challenged farmer in the year 2023.
21.
In the year 2021. Thank you for the correction. And then he was not awarded because of sympathetic reasons, but he actually earned it by hard work and then competence. So stay with us and see how the story unfolds. And I promise you never regret. But every moment spent with us will be a blessing. Okay. Mr. Kakaado.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having you here on our show.
Thank you, too.
Yeah. So, like I said, we are here to actually, have a confabulation so that we can know your story, so that the whole world can be inspired. Okay. So, who is Mr. Kakaado?
Mr. Kakaado is a citizen of Ghana, a Ghana to be precise, being from the clan of Nimbokuwi,
Wow.
to precise Numwa,
Wow.
that I reside at a distance, short distance from Cocoa Beach Hotel.
Wow.
And there I stay and do all that I can do at this moment of my life.
Okay.
This is how far God has brought us in life.
Yeah.
Before I come to the level of rearing animals,
Okay.
it was far back 1977
Wow.
when I realized Ghana was importing pig feet
Wow.
for our home consumption. I was actually hurt. And I said to myself, are the Europeans regarding us as people who love bones or love pig more than pig meat? Or are we not financially sound enough to import pig meat for the country's consumption? I said, no. Let me go into poultry or livestock and produce pork for my country. And then help my children also to develop in that level so that whatever job they go to do, they can still be in livestock production. The first time, 78, I went to a friend at Government Farms off the motorway, popularly called VET.
Okay.
And I started making investigation about livestock farming.
Okay.
The fellow gave me a book, Poultry Keeping in Tropical Area. That's a book written by FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization.
Wow.
I read the whole book and I got some facts out of it.
Wow.
Later, I went to Accra and bought another book called Steps in Rearing Chicks, written by one Mr. Benson, one Mr. Techi Manson,
All right.
an ex-serviceman who's also vested in Agric.
All right.
And with the two books, Steps in Rearing Chicks, and then Basic in Pig Rearing. Basic principles
in
in rearing
pigs.
So I read all these two books and made notes out of it. I bought this 194. So when I studied to some point, I decided to go into poultry. I said, no, let me go into livestock in general. So I registered my farm at the government registrar department as Kakaado Farms. As a certificate for it, 1979. And then I started the poultry keeping. I haven't done it for 2 years. I realized this is money-intensive business. I need more money. And since I was not up to that standard level, I decided to travel to Nigeria and work for money. I was there when Shagari also deported us. I came back. I went to Cotonou again as a seaman because I've done all courses from Regional Maritime University as a seaman. And I'm able body. When you say AB, a seaman, somebody who can work without supervision.
Okay.
So I started working with trim boats. We worked for 11 months. I know that money can go so much if I bring it to poultry. All of a sudden, the captain, an Italian, took the boat and ran away to Italy without the knowledge of the agent who hired it. So our pay couldn't reach us. I took the case to Ghana Embassy, and Ghana Embassy told us, since we don't have contract papers, we cannot fight for us. So I came home empty-handed. So the farm work was still at stake. I don't know what to do. I keep on praying to God to help me. Then one day, in the dream, I've gone to pray at the beach and I was coming home. When I reached this land, I heard in my ears, you can sell some of your land to put up a house. That means God doesn't want me to travel any longer. So I sold part of my land to Father's Hotel, and then another resident behind us. And I used the proceeds to build this house. And then I got a residence. So while I'm here, I was still thinking of what to do. Then all of a sudden, I decided, no, let me go back to my former project, the portrait. And I started it with a piggery. But unfortunately, I have a mission work at the Anglican school. God told me he has gathered some children in a block-made container. So I should go and minister to those children. So I started ministering at the 3 schools, Anglican A and B and Anglican GSS 2. Then I started ministering to them, leading children to Christ. Then on the 4th year, from 2009 to 2013, the 4th year, I was riding a sports bike, which is popular in my hobby. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I had an accident on the way. Through that, I had a spine problem, so I couldn't walk any longer. It's okay. Whatever be the situation, my brain is still at work. So I can still utilize my brain with the little I have to do something for my life, for Ghana, and for my family. So I told my children, now, I'm now physically challenged. But yet we can do pottery, piggery, so that you learn out of it. Then whatever be the job you acquire, or whatever be the knowledge you have, you can utilize both to do it. After all, Rollins' wife is having a pottery part. That's what I heard of it. So upon all her university qualification, it's now in pottery. So they've now realized that pottery can do much. So what about those of us who don't have much money? We can also do a little, and it will benefit us. So I started the pottery, and it was flourishing so much. I did a pottery. First time I did pottery, first time I did brawlers.
Okay.
This was how I started it. In my own room, on computer room, I started it there. Then later on, I added layers to it. Rhode Island Red. I started breeding that one also. It was so unfortunate that on the 2013, I had a bicycle accident. So I have to dispose all the birds because my children can't do the work as I want to do it. And it will be a loss. So I sold the birds in order to retrieve some of the money invested. Then after some years when I recovered, 2021, I said, no, let me go into piggery also. So I told my children that they should rally behind me and help me because I'm now physically challenged, so that we can do this job and they will learn out of it and it become their profession. Somebody once said, lazy man way to riches is pottery. They see you always sitting down in the house. After I use about 2 hours to feed about 1,000 or 500 birds, you can still sit down. People will think you are not working, yet you are making a hell of money. Because you all know, as I used to say, time is a commodity. When utilized effectively, can improve the standard of living. Time is a commodity. When utilized effectively, can improve your standard of living.
Wow.
So I said, no, why sitting down? Let's do something. And we started piggery. By God's grace, what I planned, I did it. And on the 2nd February 2021, I had a dream. God said, you are greatly progressive and exceedingly successful. So in the dream, I asked God, what is that? Then God brought my mind to the people. He said, what you plan to do, you've done it according to your plan. Therefore, you are successful. So it was not a miracle when 2021 December, Farmers Day, I was awarded the best fiscal challenge pig farmer. It wasn't a surprise to me.
Wow.
So
Daddy,
we had it.
hold it. You mean you were awarded the best physically challenged? You were in a competition with able-bodied farmers, or just, I mean, the people of like situation or condition, farmers of like condition.
Okay. Not as such. The LECMA branch of the government,
Okay.
the agri sector,
Okay.
they were going around looking at the domestic farmers and commercial farmers and see the challenge confront them and how it can help them improve production so that we can feed the nation.
Okay.
So having made the investigation round, they came here, somebody told them there's a pig farmer here.
Sure.
But when they passed here, they could not identify the place as a pig farm because the scent was not showing.
Wow.
Which is usually seen from farms. The place was not other stingy.
It's a normal thing. Okay.
And you cannot know unless you hear a voice. And you can't actually hear their voice because we give them time. We know time we feed them.
Okay.
And how we handle them.
Okay.
So when they are fed, they lie down quietly.
Okay.
They don't cause noise.
Wow.
When you enter to the scent there is very, very interesting. People ask me, Mr. Kakaado, what is the secret behind your pig farming where the scent is not found? I said, come to chambers.
Wow.
You know lawyers, come to chambers so that we discuss this today. The people fail to come. They thought I may take some money from them.
Wow.
So they failed to come.
This is interesting.
It changed. And then also, out of my study, I make a chart for myself. From day old, or even from the day of conception, or even from the gate. Let me put it from the gate. Gate is the ladies' level of piggery.
Wow.
Where the pigs have matured about 8 months or 9 months that they can bring forth or they can conceive, but we call them gilts.
Gates, okay.
From the gate level, their medication program, I've made it on paper. Up to the time they will farrow. When you say farrow, we mean bringing forth. Yeah. So all the time the pigs will farrow. And then at the first day the chicks farrowed. Okay. I cut down their number cord. Second day, I debig them. They have some 8 sharp needle teeth, which cause wound on the breast of the sow. Okay. And that when it swell up on it, it brings pains to the sow. It refuses them from taking breast milk. That also causes the piglets to starve. And then they die prematurely. The mummies also become slim because they feel pain on their breast. After debaking them or cutting down the 8 needle teeth to the gun, I use iodine to rub it, which doesn't bring any problem. And then I inject them penicillin, either pen strip, streptofen, or Compical. All these drugs are penicillin. After injecting them, they feel strong. Then on the 3rd day, I give them iron. After the iron, I have another program done, which I cannot mention them here on paper, so that my children follow that chart. And then you never find these chicks getting sick. Wow. They look healthy. I got this mentality from the way the doctors handle the pregnant, the women who have brought forth. They have some 6 injections they give these children. And I realized it protects the children. Unlike our time in the 60s and the 50s, children suffer from kwashiorkor and all those nuts. Sure. But now it has been realized that protein deficiency caused the children to suffer what we call it kwashiorkor. It's not an ailment. Sure. It's lack the privation of the children from getting sufficient protein. Therefore, the feed I produce for these babies or the chicks or the baby pigs is of a different quality. Wow. And they grow nicely. So I have a chart that covers them up to the time they mature as gilts that they can also bring forth. So people are saying pig food or all those not. I don't know whether God's grace it jumps over my pig house. Sure. Wow. I don't know. Because when there is prevention in livestock, you say prevention is better than cure.
Let me interact with the viewers. Okay, viewers out there, the conversation, like I said, I never expect it to get this interesting, but I know wherever you are, you may also be enjoying it. Okay, now I'm about to ask Father a certain question, so just stay with us, be patient, and I promise you are never going to regret any moment spent with us. In the end, you will come to reality that whatever moment you spent have been a blessing. All right, Father, so now, from all that you have told us, you are sounding like it was because of the massive importation of pig feet
and pork
that actually provoked you to get into this field,
honestly,
to want to do something for your country, because it sounded and looked insulting.
Yes.
Like we being fed from the crumbs of bread that drops from the white man's table was very insulting for you. Whereas there are a whole lot that nature has endowed us that you could utilize here. Okay. So now, do you have plans of exploring or going into other field as far as animal husbandry is concerned, or you want to stick to this piggery?
In case I'm physically fit,
okay,
this will be an experimental farm.
Wow.
And there will be a storage building in front of my house.
Wow.
Storing pork meat in cartons.
Wow.
And then some kilos for Christmas for local consumption.
Okay.
If there be any advantage to export it, then it will be at that level. Right. But because of my physical challenge, I can't go to that extent because you need a manpower support to do the business.
Sure.
And my children have now grown to a level where they want to get employment because within some few times they should marry.
Wow.
And they don't have money in their coffers.
Sure.
So I have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they can also try their best. So that is the only hindrance in my life. Because in this aspect, you have to do the job in the hinterland or the forest.
I understand.
And you can create a cottage for yourself. Look at the deprived person, physically challenged person. How can I be in the cottage? Even in a village, nobody think about you. What about cottage? Where about 100 years away or 1,000 years away, you are alone. So that is my hindrance. But I'm trying to encourage the children to acquire the knowledge to the extent that if they can do it, they can do that. Previously, I started doing it, but financial difficulties hindered me. So I planned of going to Libya at that time to work as a caterpillar heavy-duty machine operator because I'm a qualified tractor operator and a payloader operator. Wow. So I decided to go and work there and then bring money, buy just 2 tractors. Okay. If you have 2 tractors here, brought from Europe, you can make a big farm. Because 1 acre of land will fetch you more than 1 million cedis. And you can plow about 12 acres a day from 7 to 6 o'clock. The money is all for you. So you can invest it into the poultry or the pig or anything you want. That's what I intended doing. But I couldn't get a chance. I tried my best to go to America. I couldn't get a chance. So I intended both to work as a seaman. So in Europe, I can drop down as a stowaway man and find my way out. And then fetch money and bring just 2 tractors. I only need 2 tractors. I don't need more. Because I know if right now I'm operating a tractor, plowing 10 acres from 5 to 6. If it's 1 million, that's 10 million. Which work can you do as a laborer and get 10 million a day? Wow. So when you invested this money into piggery or poultry, it will benefit not you alone, but the whole world. Because starvation will decline.
Sure, decline. That's very true.
From the Ghanaian level.
Yeah. Like in the days of Joseph and all that. Wow. So,
so now let me encourage you out there.
Okay.
Who think you don't have money to operate a big farm. Okay. You can start from the scratch. There's a saying which says, a journey of 1,000 miles start with a step. Wow. Just work and get money, get 2 tractors as a Ghanaian. Come down, leave America and leave their immigration conditions and come and stay under the free, independent country.
Paradise.
Nkrumah said, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is legal with the total liberation of Africa. We have to liberate the people because they are hungry. and the Europeans are feeding them with pork feet.
Sure.
Don't you feel disgrace?
Sure.
Having a lot of money and then calling yourself American, a British, a European.
Wow.
It's a disgrace. Come down and invest in agric that Ghana will feed itself.
Wow. So this comes to mind. Do they really believe in the philosophy that we have, heard from time immemorial that agriculture is the backbone of the economy? From the way you are sounding, like a person of your condition, not allowing yourself to be, impeded by this condition, but you go all ends to actually prove to the world that no, you can still make it. And then you have your works to attest to that fact.
Yes, really, agriculture can be the backbone of Ghana.
Yeah.
It's not a backbone at the moment.
Yeah.
To my observation, it's not a backbone.
Yeah.
Because how much did the government invest into the domestic farmers so they can grow to commercial farmers?
Yeah.
What did the government give them?
Yeah.
They want you to develop and then they bring in tax.
So it's like they are preaching virtues and practicing vices.
That is how the man of God will say,
wow.
You preach different and you behave different.
Wow.
Well, no, let me tell you.
All right.
It's actually not.
But truth is
interested.
truth. Truth is
sometimes
truth.
when you speak, they tell you are insulting Ghana.
Oh,
you are
truth
doing
is truth.
But let me tell you, the truth is that the domestic farmers need help from the government at their level. Monitor the operations and see whether they can pay.
Okay.
If they can't pay, don't give them again.
Okay.
Because Americans are feeding their children.
Yeah.
So if you borrow the peasant farmer and he cannot pay, it's not a headache.
Sure.
It's rather give the privation to that person. And those who pay will have the privilege. So we need to help. Because in every business, there's profit and loss.
Yes.
So some people might benefit and it will finally benefit the nation.
Yeah. It's a venture.
That's it.
There are considerable risks.
It can be the backbone unless we help the citizens to advance in their agricultural work. The government sometimes help the cocoa farmers because of the exportation at a higher level. But ask yourself, what about those peasant farmers? Who helps them? Maybe God is ready to help them. Yes, God is ready to help us.
Okay, but from the way you are sounding, you seem clued up and very au fait. Especially, this is evident in your use of the terms that are associated to this terrain. Like, you use them correctly. Tell us, do you have maybe a degree or you are just self-studied?
Oh, my dear man. You are blessed and highly favored. So I am.
Wow.
I'm only a Form 4 leaver.
Wow.
Who started class 1 1955.
Wow.
But because of financial difficulties, I couldn't finish my Form 4 in 1965.
Wow.
I have to sit down 2 years because of financial difficulties. Wow. In 1964, I continued and completed my Form 4 in 1967.
Wow.
I'm only a Form 4 leaver. I've never been to secondary school. I financed my children to climb higher, telling them they should help their children also to climb higher than them.
Wow.
Then our education standard in the family will improve.
Increases.
So this is my standard.
Wow. But this is wonderful. You sound even better than most of those people from that, field of academia who are in that field that's supposed to do what you are doing, even more than that. See, so it's very amazing and encouraging. So, I'm lost of words. But what I'm trying to say is, this is a brain that the nation needs. This is a resource that the country should tap into for their agriculture exploits. Okay, Daddy. So I want to know if you have some regrets or you have achieved on, and again, if there's something you want to change given the opportunity in this field of agriculture.
Well, I don't regret being a Form 4 leaver.
No, I don't mean you being a regret. I mean, do you have regret as in this particular field?
No.
Ever since you started, you began that journey of...
No. When you came here, you hear me praying the song.
Wow.
This is how far God has brought us.
Sure.
So we should appreciate it.
Sure.
This is how far God has brought us in
Wow.
life.
Wow.
And we have to appreciate it.
Yeah.
As I said, Job was telling God that he need not to be in that situation.
Yeah.
Suffering, a righteous man. No, all these atrocities happen on Job just a single day, which is actually discouraging from worshiping God. And that was why the devil capitalized on that, thinking Job will regret.
Yeah.
But we are supporting Job, that Job never regret.
Yeah.
And God multiply him bountifully.
The more they afflict me,
The more. So in every situation, brothers and sisters all over the world, let us acknowledge God's presence in the life of the whole world.
Wow.
For He never leave us to suffer to the end. For no condition is ever permanent.
Yeah. It's a fact of life. Wow. All too soon, I will enjoin you viewers out there to also follow our channel on YouTube, which is Stage 1 TV precisely. But then if there is a way you can support, as you have heard the story yourself, you are so free to do so. You are free to do so. Oh, I'm going to leave the appropriate channels through which you can keep your support coming in. But don't go anywhere. We are still in a confabulation with our Father. So just stay glued to your devices wherever you are. Okay. So ready?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's come to familiar issues. I know it's a bit sensitive and private, but yeah. So let's see how you keep up. What's the size of your family and how you keep up with bills and everything, like the responsibility is, if definitely the size of the family is a huge one, the responsibility will be equally huge. And the reverse is also true, especially looking at the current economic crisis.
Thank you so much, my dear man. God made me to have a foresight about this present time.
Okay.
So in 1967, I asked myself, my parents cannot finance my secondary school education, and I have to be a dropout at that level. What work will I do to put up 2 houses, finance my children's education, and then help other people? I asked myself 3 questions in the year 1967. And by God's grace, I said, I will never buy a TV, a fridge, until I put up 2 houses. But these houses can finance my existence. Likewise, my children's education. So that was my focus. And by God's grace, I've built those 2 houses. These houses are giving me income from the renting. So I don't need to give a collateral to the bank for a loan. Now, adding to that finances or that rent, the poultry industry provide meat for us. It also provide finances for our existence.
This is amazing.
That's why when people ask me, Daddy, I'm called Big Boy, if you don't know me. Big Boy, how are you? I says, I'm blessed and highly favored, even to be envied.
Wow.
Yes, because you say, how can this physically challenged man receive award?
All these awards, yeah.
People were saying Kakaado only read books, but you don't know practical piggery and poultry. But when I got the award, they regretted they have been in the job for more than 30 years, they haven't got any award. They say, hey, Kakaado is now professor. That's what they are saying.
So, Professor Kakaado.
It's out of planning.
Sure.
Out of planning. Now, I've made slight researches that my poultry birds don't suffer from fowl pox. Coccidiosis doesn't kill them. And you may be interested to know the hidden thing. But I'll keep it till you meet in chambers. So that having broilers or having layers, and then at the time they are producing their eggs at the age of 5 months, you find that coccidiosis will step in and be destroying the chickens.
Okay.
Let me add this to your benefit. Bear in mind, the coccidiostat
Okay.
or any medicine that heals coccidiosis
Okay.
is being put into the water.
Wow.
And now some of the birds don't drink the water. So if they have the ailment, it kills them.
Wow.
And the sickness spread on.
Yeah.
So I have a method I have invented by God's grace and administered to the birds one-on-one. So nobody escaped from medication.
Wow.
So coccidiosis doesn't kill my birds.
Wow.
Mycoplasma pneumonia doesn't kill my pigs.
Wow. Wow.
Because I've realized that talosin, lincomyces, and the rest can solve the mycoplasma.
Wow.
So I give them protection because in animal rearing, prevention is better than cure.
Wow. That's very
So
true.
don't wait till the animals die.
Wow.
Think down and think.
Wow.
You see, we Africans, I think we refuse to think.
Wow.
We want to be copycat.
Wow.
But if we are to think, God has given us the wisdom and knowledge, we can do something. Now, I use chloramphenicol and then piroxicam, these two capsules, at a quantity measured with another quantity of water and produces solutions. This solution, when administered to the birds one-on-one through drenching, fowl-pox will never exist. Coccidiosis will never kill the birds. You never feel that the birds grow. Now, when you look back, you can see the birds there. They are reared from this place, fed on my own produced feed.
Wow.
I'm the veterinary officer, including my children and my wife.
Wow.
We all work together as a family team. And we are going. So let us start thinking and stop relaxing. For we can do greater things as an African.
That's true.
Yes, God doesn't curse us.
Sure.
If we come from the clan of Ham, the senior son of Noah, that doesn't mean we are cursed. Because if we are cursed, when the sickness came right now, the Europeans were recording thousands. We were also saying 50s and 90s.
Sure.
But who does those funerals? Where does those funerals existed? This tells you the African is blessed and highly favored to be envied. Some Europeans feel they are Africans because you can wear a singlet throughout the 12 months and you don't have a problem. There is no need for a jacket or coat. But if you are fortunate to sew coat, I'm here. A fashion designer. I can give you a very good suit and charge you money. But Africans are blessed. We love to wear coats. We are not feeling cold. Yeah, so we are blessed. Let us use your mind and we can do greater things.
That's true. Wow. So, all too soon, the conversation has gotten very interesting, but time is really fast flying. So I think this is where time will allow us to draw the curtains down on this particular, edition of Decipher. And don't forget the station is Stage 1. You can follow our channel on YouTube, Stage 1 TV, and then subscribe to it. So we meet again. Stay blessed. Wow.
Thank you so much.
I like that. We are recording 50s and about where are the funerals? I was asking that question. When do I say we have to show deaths of I said, where are the funerals?
No, even this
where
one.
Are the funerals? So I asked someone, I said, do you know any
Bill Clinton's wife
that has died?
Oh, I want to leave.
Yeah, that's your wife. Wait, father. True. You were telling the truth.
Oh, yes. I need to hide it.
Okay. Okay, so on this side, what do we have? Okay, see the need for the water. First. Okay, I said, Ameta, I finished. You said the pigs are left with how many? 3 or 5 or? 5. The sties. The pig sties. Okay, I can hear. Okay. There's a few left. One, 2, 3, 4.
No, 5.
5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More room. Up and over. That's the main building in his house. Okay. These are the birds. All raised here. Bread here. All bread here.
I will go take the poultry farm in front view.
On to. The front, yeah.
The front view.
Yeah, let's take the front. Front of the building. Aiko.
Yes, once again.
Here we go.
Here I am. I have survived. I am still standing. Yes, once again, as you know, as usual, your home station Kakaado FM, vibrating on the airwaves like never before. Cruising like a Land Cruiser on the highway. Or like a cruising ship on the high seas of the ocean. As usual with my whole program. Teaching for the word of God, counseling, encouragement, motivation, rebuke, and preaching as well. All from the Bible. Biblical point of view. By your you don't like negativity. Yes, I don't like negativity. I love positivity. Realistic, righteous, all in the Aaron color. He's the omnipotent Father, omnipresent God, the ultimate choice of his people. As your own brother, as you also know, what brother said, I said the way. Especially they call me, I said the way. What I said. I said the way. Otonu, Taye, Lagos, Solani Kilo. DJ Cassette. I don't say for sure.